can get it easily. All right. In the next 8 days after that, the link will disappear, expire. Welcome to the next step. I'm assuming a few more will join us, but those of you who are here, thank you for coming and being on time. Trust me, this is going to be a very interesting and insightful experience. Even if you've decided on what career path you might want, it is good to keep your mind open today, open to possibilities, open to opportunities, and open to picking up some pointers about process itself rather than just outcome. All right, this is an extremely important thing for all of you to grasp, that the outcome we can't always control, but the process, the direction, the thinking, the exploring, that it's part and parcel of the way we figure out our path in life. All right. And today you get an opportunity to connect with a few of our alumni as well. I'm very happy to introduce some of them very briefly in like half a line, because there's no time for formal introductions and there are no flowers being given to people and things. But we're so happy to see where they are, and all of them have made us proud. They are made of Xavier's. Toru, see, we're using the line as well. And you'll get a feel of
Thank you for that shout
different,
out.
you'll get a feel of different courses, options, experiences, and most importantly, insights, the kind of thing that you don't get from textbooks. You can go on a website, you can look at what a course is like or what the modules are like, but the feel that you get from someone who's been through something and said, maybe I wish someone had told me about this when I was a little younger, a couple of years back, or even 10 years back. That's the opportunity you're getting today. So you've got a range of people starting out. You've got the schedule itself. We have 2 people who can't make it today. So we are 2 slots less, basically. The Hiral Rakshita, that slot for cognitive is not happening. And Neha from XRCVC about social work, she also is a little unwell, can't make it today. Okay. But the rest are here, and I'm sure we'll have a very fruitful session. We're going to begin with Shweta from the batch of 2017, all the way from Korea. And she's going to give you an idea about quirky careers and the inspiration she got, I think, from her IO project as well. IO is Industrial Organization Psychology for the SYs, in case you are not sure of that. Go ahead, please. All yours. And Angeline, please take at least one screenshot. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So thank you so much, Ruby ma'am, for inviting me. So I'm the opening batsman for today's session. And in fact, it's a short detour from a lot of the core careers in psychology. It's sort of ode and consolation to some of you, who have put in years of studying psychology, but somehow feel lost or undecided, or maybe you want to do something completely different and you're still thinking, how am I going to break this out to my professors who are so dedicated to the subject, or what am I going to tell my peers, whose full psych seat I've stolen, but I'm not going to be a psychologist anymore. So I'm just here to say, I got you. You're going to be fine, because I was one such person and there's still hope for all of us. So most of you do know me well, because we've been doing these Next Step series for quite a while. So I won't go into the story of things, but if you just look at my educational background, I've done my bachelor's and master's in full psychology. But now I'm pursuing my master's in international trade, finance, and management, which is a complete different tangent altogether in South Korea. Professionally as well, I work as a Mandarin and Korean language interpreter and as a business facilitator under this brand called C-Lingua, which, like Ruby ma'am said, was the brainchild of this whole proprietorship, came from an IPOB CIA2 assignment. So guys, take your assignments very seriously. It could pan out to be something that you would do in the future. And what we do at C-Lingua is we try to bridge language and geographical barriers for companies pan-Asia, and enable trade to flourish. So for example, if Korean companies or Chinese companies want to set up businesses in India, find distributors or something, we help them out. And I love the diversity that this opportunity gave me, because sometimes I'm interpreting for the orthopedic surgeons at KEM Hospital inside during a live surgery, or I'm interpreting for the Chief Minister of Maharashtra for the Smart Cities project, helping Indo-Korean governments together. And along with that, since I do have a background in psychology, right now I am also an international mental health facilitator working with global EAPs, where I deliver my sessions in 5 languages, that is English, Hindi, Tamil, and of course, Korean and Chinese as well. I've also taught languages at international schools and have a brief banking experience with Uri Bank, which is sort of like the SBI of South Korea. So briefly speaking, if you notice, my profile is like this large Indian thali where there's a little bit of everything. Now, I don't know if this is the Xavier's effects, because, you're taking 3 different core subjects, studying it across 3 years. On top of that, you're taking electives, there's sports involved, and then you have some cross faculty. They say, chalo, go learn science and come. So maybe I think the entire experience has made me get wired like that, where I'm constantly looking out for something new. Somehow, monotony, routine, or specialization into one core thing somehow does not spark the passion in me. And I just need the novelty or the butterflies in my stomach, for my self actualization, so to say. So if you are someone like me, I would encourage all of you to just go out there and experiment. When I started out, I took all the 3 subjects, that is economics, sociology, and psychology, because I didn't know what to major in. And choosing psychology was spontaneous. It was an emotional decision that just came out because I love the department and the work that they did. And mostly I found out that, sort of the emotional decisions that I've made in life have hold me in much better stead than some of the long, laborious planning that I've done. So, what I'd like to say is, I have some sample career scenarios for you. And because there's a time limit of 10 minutes, these are just some things that are put together. Maybe what you're looking at could be completely different from all of these that even maybe I cannot envisage. And be my guest to experiment, because psychology is a subject, it's a beautiful base. You can say it's like water, it just blends well with any field out there. So what I did with the aspect of training and consultancy is, I told you that I'm working with certain global EAPs. EAPs, they stand for Employee Assistance Program, where they are demarcated several counselors or mental health trainers to ensure that all employees across the globe, they are functioning optimally and productively. So companies pay thousands of dollars in order to organize these sessions related to stress, coping, and so on. So since I love languages and have a background in psychology with my master's at SNDT, what I've done is, by partnering with these international EAPs, I deliver sessions related to, say, resilience for a Singaporean audience in Chinese, or talk about leadership styles for a Sri Lankan audience in Tamil. And I could be in any geographical location, be it in India or South Korea or wherever I am, because they are organized digitally. Payments are wired out online, and I have the opportunity to impact thousands of people by sitting in any geographical location. So that is one aspect. Another thing, along with my background now in international trade and finance, what I'm exploring is that of corporate governance. Now, corporate governance is nothing but, how you manage the stock market fluctuations of a company to at its highest profitability by tweaking some of the company policies, the leadership styles, or what kind of recruitment are you doing at the board level in order to ensure that all the investors or public shareholders are at its profitable best. So it's a beautiful way of involving psychology with, say, investment and finance. Similarly, you have avenues of advertisement and marketing, or now there's AI, machine learning, and we have experts today talking about these sectors. So all I just want to say is that sky is the limit. Probably you have certain skill sets that even the market today doesn't know that it needs. Conventionally, what happens is there is a need in the market, and we sort of, polish our skills in order to fulfill that need. But what if you have something really unique to offer, that you have created a need in the market and you have established a complete old niche for yourself? Maybe you and I sitting today, we won't even envisage something like that. But 5 years down the line, that could be the in thing that everybody is looking forward to do. So now, how do we get to that? be it any field, whether it's something in core psychology or outside, there are few non-negotiable things that's always going to be involved. Like the basics will always be the same. So the first and foremost will be that of competency. So, getting any globally recognized certifications will build credibilities because we are newbies in the field, right? So who's going to believe us? Then there's something to authenticate that we know what we're doing. And on top of that, subsequently, when your know-how or efficacy in the job it improves, it enables people to have the confidence to associate with you long term. Along with that, I would definitely recommend some research on the market that you're looking at, especially in terms of pricing. So you don't want to overquote yourself so much that you just blown the opportunity away, or very timidly just underquote and be maybe underpaid from what you're worth. So that would be of competency. And the most important thing is of networking is how many people in the field are you connecting with actually? So whether you're attending seminars or TED Talks or whatever it is, how many business cards, names and numbers can you come home with? And how many of those people are actually going to remember your name when you get in touch with them via email or call them up tomorrow? Because I don't know what it is about my generation and the subsequent ones after that. We have developed this fear of talking to strangers. I don't know how, because the generation before us never had. Now they're all like, can you please text? Because I can't call on the phone. And, that's a particular way we are coming up with, I think, because of the ease of social media. But I understand introversion is just a trait like any other personality trait. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. I'm not at all ridiculing it at all. But unless and until we connect with somebody, how will they know that you have a particular service that you could offer them with, right? So, some workable model in terms of networking, it also helps well in job recruitments. Think about it. Somebody approaching a company as a stranger via LinkedIn, and somebody that the in-house general manager is recommending, saying, I know this particular person, this is the resume, I think it's a good fit. As an HR, who would I hire? Naturally, somebody who is from an in-house recommendation, because there's so much credibility here. So how do we get those contacts? It only comes via networking. And last but not the least, people skills definitely keeps us in business always. So being kind, polite, and easygoing, it just makes people more comfortable to associate with you. So I would recommend we must watch our digital footprint about what we're putting in the social media. Make sure it's not offensive. Make sure that we are always polite and kind with everybody, online or offline, because no man is an island. We are always interdependent. We don't know how somebody could connect with us and how they could be of help to us and how we could help them out. So all that we learned about Carl Rogers, all authenticity, positive regard, empathy, it goes a long way everywhere, not just in the therapeutic setting. So that's what I have to share, because 10 minutes. But other than that, if you're curious about something related to maybe SNDT or any of my journey so far, I know it's very superficial and it's just like an outline I've put out there, but I'm more than happy to answer your questions now for the 5 minutes that we have, as well as you can write to me anytime. I'd be more than glad to help you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shweta. And it's good that they're putting up their contact details. So those of you who would like to reach out separately, there are already some people who have reached out to her for her thoughts on how translation can become a kind of a career, because that's how she began her own quirky career path. All right. And by the way, Shweta, they may not be familiar with your story. There'll be only a couple of them, because last year you were not part of the next step, if I remember right. And there were only SYs and TYs. Here again, we have SYs and TYs. SYs are new to this completely. And the TYs, a few of them may have heard you at FY, if at all.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Right. So we can stop share screen. And anyone has a question or a comment or wants to know more about where Shweta is or how she got there. She's in Korea, by the way. Yes, Mansi.
Yes, Mansi.
Hi, good evening, good afternoon. I actually wanted